If you looked up the word luxury in the dictionary, it reads, a condition of abundance or great ease and comfort, something adding to pleasure or comfort, but that is not absolutely necessary. This definition is funny to me because I think so many of us, when we think of the word luxury, we think of money. We often equate luxury with money because that's how culture and marketing has trained us to think. Many luxury brands sell the idea that exclusivity and status and comfort all come with a high price tag, that the only way to achieve it is through money. And so we've inherited this belief that luxury is something you buy and not something that you create. But the truth is, luxury isn't about money. It is about intention and choice. And if you redefine luxury in your mind as a way of living rather than something that you purchase, it becomes something that you can have in your everyday life, regardless of your budget or your income. In the last year, I've been stepping back and trying to rein in just spending and just being more conscious of what I buy. And this is a combination of the cost of living increasing and just facing the reality of the overbuying culture. And you're probably going to hear more about this topic from me in the coming months because it's sort of becoming like a really transformative year for me around this topic. But being on a more strict budget has taught me how to live more luxurious than I ever did when I was spending without thinking. And so it got me thinking about how you really can live luxurious on a budget. And so we're going to talk about that in today's video. So for me, one of the first things that typically goes when I'm being more intentional with my money is eating out. To me, it's a pretty easy win. We all know how overpriced it is to eat out. Even just getting a sandwich from our favorite deli can like creep up to $20 a person or more these days, which is just crazy. And while going out to eat and having a meal served to you certainly can feel like indulgent, right? It's like sort of special to have somebody cook something for you. I have found that you can have the same extravagance when you're cooking from home. Some little swaps that I make when I'm cooking from home to make it feel more luxurious is one, I focus on homemade meals. There is absolutely something that feels special and luxurious about sitting down to a meal that was made from scratch. To me, it is far more luxurious than some takeout dinner that's like in a plastic container. Sometimes this can feel like so much more time or so much more of a hassle. It's so much more work. It's much more of a commitment to make a homemade meal, but it doesn't have to be true. I've got 4 kids, age 6 and under. My time and my bandwidth for cooking is quite low in this season of life, but there are so many meals that I can make from scratch that don't really require a lot of time or a lot of excess on my end. So simple soups and stews, pasta dishes, sheet pan meals, so many of these can be done in really little time, often with just one pot, but you still get that like cozy, feel-good home-cooked meal. Something else that I love to do that I think is so extra, but truthfully is insanely easy is homemade bread. And I'm not talking about sourdough where you like need to tend to the starter, because to me that is way more of a time commitment that I'm interested in. Just a simple yeast dough. I'll link my favorite one down below. Truly one of the easiest foods that I know how to make. It costs literally a couple of dollars, but when you have homemade bread with your meal, it is like, to me, that's like the lap of luxury. There's something just so luxurious and like special about that. Okay, a quick break to thank Marie for sponsoring this video. I want to tell you about their Keratin Deep Conditioner. This mask has made a noticeable difference in my hair, especially when I heat treat it. It is infused with keratin, biotin, and coconut oil, and the formula is designed to deeply hydrate and repair. One thing I love about this mask is that I can use it 2 ways. I can use it just as a regular conditioner in the shower, or I can leave it on for over 10 minutes to get a really deep conditioning mask. Also, in my opinion, it is a really good price for the quality of what you're getting compared to other masks out there, just further proving that you don't need to spend big dollars to get that luxury feel in life. What I really appreciate is this brand's commitment to ethical and responsible sourcing. As an American beauty company, they have made it a priority to protect our oceans and the planet, which is something that I just really love to see when I am suggesting products for you guys to try. Now, I've talked about Marie products before. I will have a link in the description box down below where you can get this stuff as well as their other products, all right from Amazon. And I have a promo code that will give you 20% off. Using fresh herbs is another one. I swear anytime that I add fresh herbs to a meal, it makes it 10 times more delicious, and there's just something that seems like 10 times more special about it. And I personally have very little green thumb. I can't handle growing very much, but even I can handle growing a couple of herbs. I keep them going through the summer on my patio in a random pot, and it definitely just feels fancy. It's like a little extra to go out and pull some fresh parsley from your own little garden and add it to your home cooked meal. There are so many other simple ways to sort of romanticize your meals without spending extra money or taking a lot of extra time. Things like lighting a candle, right, when it's time to eat. It's not a luxury because the candle's expensive, but because it turns an ordinary moment into something that feels intentional. It says this matters. This meal is a pause. It's time for us to be together. Like, this meal is worth the extra moment of lighting this candle. Another thing might be using cloth napkins. We always do this for special meals in our home, like birthdays or holidays. It's really minimal effort. You just have to like throw them in the wash when you're done. But there is something very quietly elegant about a cloth napkin. They're a small detail. It kind of like suggests a mindset shift. It's not just the function of eating, it's the experience of eating. Okay, so another thing is actually my phone. I have found that the rise of social media and us all using our smartphones for more and more every day has quietly stolen our time. What starts as a quick scroll turns into minutes and then hours, and it's slipping away without us even knowing. And the platforms and apps on our phone are designed to keep us hooked, right? They're feeding us endless content that feels urgent, but it's really not. And this turns into us watching other people's lives instead of living our own, not to mention that we're just seeing their highlight reel disguised as reality. Most of it, honestly, guys, is fake, right? It's curated. We know this, right? It's designed to make us want something that isn't real and to buy things. And the real cost isn't just the lost hours, but it's our distraction from the present moment, from our kids, our partners, our own thoughts, our own creative ideas. Social media and smartphones has made it way too easy to fill every spare moment, and so I have found there is a huge luxury in having my phone less. Personally, I've shared this a few times, but I've deleted all social media off my phone, all my shopping apps, all my productivity and creativity apps, all of them are off my phone. It's mostly just utility now. I have like messages, my phone, like to make phone calls, maps, podcasts. That's really it, and it's honestly one of the biggest luxuries to break free from the vice that the smartphone had on us. We've all become cued in to always being on, always being entertained. And since I've drastically cut my phone time, I found there's something so amazing about just being, just sitting without the distraction of scrolling or reading emails. It makes it a lot easier to find time in my life for other things that feel more indulgent. I find myself more likely to turn on music. Like I'll listen to jazz in the morning, or I'll put on classical or like piano covers of Disney songs when I hang out with the kids. I have more time to read. I skim the newspaper. I journal more, I draw more, I create more, and all of that feels wildly more luxurious. Another really easy way to live more luxurious on a budget is to declutter, which is funny because often there are a lot of things that we buy to feel more fancy. We buy the aspirational view of them. Buying this will make me feel like a high-end chef, or buying this will make my home look more stylish. And I'm not against buying certain things that enhance your life, right? I have my skincare items I love. I have cooking gadgets that I use every week. I have decor in my home that I spent money on that brings me joy or makes the home feel like me. But when it starts to overclutter our space with stuff, a good old-fashioned declutter can make it feel a lot more light. And decluttering, what I find, creates space. It removes the visual noise and chaos from a space, which has scientifically been proven to lower stress, as well as like a whole other wealth of benefits. Everything from like improving to your sleep to making you have better eating habits. Decluttering has a wide variety of benefits that you wouldn't even believe, and they're all associated with clutter. Too much clutter really does impact us in so many ways. So decluttering is the luxury of not just being weighed down by this stuff that you don't need or love, like you're letting yourself let it go. And in a world that constantly pushes us to have more, choosing less can be very freeing. I think we all know that feeling that you have like after you've decluttered a space, whether it's been like a full closet declutter or you just took 2 minutes to finally organize under the kitchen sink. It doesn't feel like a breath of fresh air when you do it. Like this tiny little weight was removed off your shoulders. It is such a simple, small luxury to give yourself to do that. I tried to do little declutters somewhere like multiple times a week, whether it's just cleaning out the fridge or going through my kids' art bin. And then I find times to do big declutters as well. Okay, a few more little things in my life that I find are little, but just make it feel more special. So one, I swapped all the hangers in my closet for matching ones, specifically velvet lined. I know this is silly. and small, but it makes my closet look so much more put together and clean, almost like I'm in a little boutique. It's just a very small visual change, but it really does make me feel more put together and fancy when I am in my closet. Having little white towels on my bathroom vanity. These ones are literally from Amazon. They're like basic bar towels, just like they're not like fancy 1,000 count white towels or anything, but there's just something fancy about a little white towel to dry your hands off with. You know, like when you're in a really fancy hotel and they have the little hand towels with the basket instead of paper towels. There's something about that. I don't know what it is. I don't do it in all my bathrooms because my kids would just like mess it up in their bathroom, but in our guest bathroom, there's just something fancy about that. It's pretty easy. You have a few extra towels to wash every week. I'm doing laundry every day anyways, so, you know, what's one more load? She says to herself. Next, make your bed in the morning. It is such an easy win, you guys, but it makes such a difference in multiple ways. One, it makes a difference in your mindset through the day. It instantly makes your room feel cleaner, so it makes you more likely to keep it clean throughout the day, and there is no luxury better than getting into a clean bed at the end of a long day, right? It's a little gift you're giving yourself at the end of the day. It is also just a little habit you do first thing in the morning. It only takes a minute or two, and it kind of sets your tone for the day. Like, why not start your morning with a positive, productive habit? Next, matching pajamas, okay? I know this is a purchase, it's something you're buying. I don't do this every night, but 2 or 3 years ago, I started slowly buying some matching pajama sets as opposed to just having like random shorts and oversized t-shirts. And there's just something a little extra about having a matching set when I go to bed. It makes you feel special. And I also find that having matching sets prevents me from overbuying a bunch of like mismatched sleep pants or sleep shorts. It's like I just need a few because they match and I know exactly how they go together. Which brings me to another point, which is being more intentional with what you buy. So like I mentioned earlier in this video when we talked about decluttering, it's not that I don't buy anything, but it's in a day and age right now, like where we live, is that it is so easy to buy anything and everything, but there are so many choices for everything you could want that you could spend hours scrolling just trying to find like the right picture frame or the right picture to hang on your wall. You can so easily buy anything you want with the click of a button, which in the moment might feel really luxurious, like you don't even, like you could just buy it right from your phone. But if you think about it, when it's so easy to get something like this, a lot of these things end up not meaning anything to you. So instead, I have tried stepping back from the instant gratification of buying something. I am definitely not immune to this. This is something I'm personally really working on. But instead of buying something online with instant gratification, is instead trying to wait until I find the right piece, one that I actually care about. So one example might be artwork. Art is something I love to hang on my walls. It brings me a lot of happiness and joy. You can easily go online, just buy whatever. You know, you can go to Marshall's and go to the clearance section, but it doesn't feel the same as finding a piece when I'm out in my life, maybe at a thrift store, at a flea market, at a local gallery, when I'm on vacation. Buying pieces that matter to me and filling my walls with that, even if it's taking me years to find pieces to fill my walls, feels so much more luxurious and special than just getting something right out of the box from TJ Maxx. The same goes with other things in your home. Maybe it's taking time to collect mugs that feel really special when you're traveling or when you go to little pottery places, or getting vintage vases from like a donation center for all of your flowers. Spending years getting cool used furniture pieces to fill your home instead of just instantly going online and furnishing it all at once. In an age of instant gratification with stuff, there's something very opulent about taking your time to slowly fill your home with things that you truly care about and have real meaning to you. If you can think of something else to add to this list, something that feels like a little luxury but doesn't cost a lot of money, I would love if you left it in the comments down below. It would be so cool if the comment thread of this YouTube video just became all of these great ways that we can live more luxurious or sort of like romanticize our life without just spending money to do it, if that makes sense. As always, thank you so much for stopping by and watching. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Remember to be kind to yourself and others, and I will see you all in my next video.